Hi everybody, we're here to tell you about a few things that we learned when we went to China, and you should watch this just to see all the things that you don't really find anywhere else and they don't really tell you about,
And I am here to teach you how to make dumplings.
which is also great.
Today I'm gonna teach you guys my mom's dumpling recipe. Most Chinese families have their own dumpling recipes. The first step is to make the dough. Mix together flour and water at about 2:1 ratio. Add a pinch of salt to taste.
So if you do take a taxi, a good thing to know is if you're just hailing one down the street and it stops, just get in immediately. Because if you tell them the location that you're going and they don't want to go there, they'll just drive off. And that happened to us a bunch of times. It was like 110 degrees. We were in Hangzhou. It was super hot, and we just wanted to get back. And we kept trying to hail cabs, and they kept just being like, "Where are you going?" "Oh, don't want to go there." And they'd leave. If you don't want to take a taxi, another good thing to do is to just take Didi, which is like Chinese Uber. And it has a standalone app, but a lot of people use it within this app called WeChat. And WeChat is the number one thing that I think you want to get before you go. I would get it, figure the app out, work with it a little bit, because it's how you do everything. You can order delivery, which is amazing, and it's super fast and super cheap. You can get your Didi through the WeChat. Something breaks, you can call repairman. Chinese people use it to pay their bills. And when you go out shopping, you can use WeChat for everything. And we went like hiking in the middle of nowhere, and we saw a little stand for food, and in that stand they had a QR code for us to scan for WeChat. It is so universal and so helpful.
To use all the amazing services that WeChat offers, you need to have one, a Chinese phone, and two, a Chinese bank card. The dough should be really smooth. Next step, you want to get a piece of paper towel and wet it. Get rid of the excessive water and cover the dough nicely with a paper towel. Let it sit for around 20 to 30 minutes.
One of my least favorite things about China was the bathrooms. I recommend you go to like a Starbucks or like just like a chain restaurant. They usually have cleaner bathrooms. Like the traditional bathroom is a hole on the ground, and sometimes it's like a porcelain hole, but sometimes it's not. And when you really do it, you really gotta commit. Like you can't hover, because if you hover, it's gonna splatter. And with either thing.
Yeah, get your butt down.
Yeah.
Like almost on the ground down.
Yeah. I have really bad knees and not the best back, so it was kind of rough at first. And I don't even know how I see like 80-year-old women like go into the bathroom. I don't even understand it. I had terrible experiences with not having toilet paper. So maybe you end up going to the bathroom, but then you realize, oh no, they're in the wrong shorts. But maybe you held it too long. Because you saw a Chinese KFC and you'd never seen a Chinese KFC before, so you want to go check it out. And maybe you ate frog earlier, and that frog didn't like your stomach very well. And by the time you got done checking out Chinese KFC, it was a sprint. Maybe you realize, oh, I don't have my toilet paper because it's in the other pair of my shorts. Maybe you have to use this used TP. Maybe you're not really good at holding your bladder because when you were a kid, your mom would come to the door and she'd go, "Ooh, look at the biggie stinky boy. Look at the tinky stinky boy." And Then you just were kind of too embarrassed to go to the bathroom in your own house, so it kind of created like a complex.
Now it's time to get the fillings ready. We're gonna start with the shrimp. Peel and devein the shrimp and cut it into a 1/4-inch slices. Now we're gonna slice the chives. You wanna cut it as thin as possible. For smoother texture, some people use a blender, but in my family, we like the chive texture. If you want to use Airbnb in China, sometimes they wouldn't let you stay because you're foreign. All Chinese people live in apartment complexes, and there will always be guards in the front door, and they will keep track of who gets in, who gets out. And if a foreigner shows up, they will do an investigation on like why you're here and all that.
Yeah.
So it causes a lot of hassle for the Airbnb owner, so they just stop accepting foreign guests. You want to use this website called C-Trip. It's C, trip.com. It's like Americans Expedia. Yeah, so you can book a hotel, you can book a train, you can book a flight on there. Now that the chives are cut and the shrimps are peeled and deveined, you want to mix the shrimp minced pork and the chives together in a large bowl. Add salt, sesame oil, dark soy sauce, light soy sauce into the bowl and start mixing.
A lot of you know that you can't use Google or Facebook or YouTube, but there are a lot of substitutes. WeChat would be their Facebook. Google, you use Baidu, and for YouTube you use Bilibili. We'll have links below, so I can't spell all those either, so don't worry about it. Another thing you can do is get a VPN, which stands for
Virtual Private Network.
Virtual Private Network.
So all Chinese people use VPN to get on Facebook, to get on YouTube and Netflix. There's a lot of free VPN online that you can use, but I would recommend a paid VPN service if you're gonna stay in China for like longer period, like more than 3 weeks.
Which VPN do you use?
PandaPal.
PandaPal. I recommend doing that if you can before you get there, especially if you don't speak Chinese, because it's very hard for me to look up stuff. Google Translator did an alright job on Baidu, but it was tough. It's way better just to do it before you get there. It's a lot easier.
Now we're making dumpling skins from the dough. Cut off a slice of the dough. Use the palm of your hand to press down the dice into little pancakes. Here is the dumpling stick. Use it to press down the little pancakes and make the dumpling skins. You put a filling in the middle of the dumpling skin, leaving some edges. Pinch the middle of the edge, then scoop in both sides. Here's a made dumpling. Here's Robbie trying to make his first dumpling. After they're done cooking, you can dip them in any dipping sauce you like. My family uses vinegar and soy sauce. Enjoy!
A weird thing that I came across was I stuck my Chinese sticks like tall ways in my meal when I was like done eating something and like walked away, which I found out is disrespectful, and I didn't know that. And you probably why?
You're like I forgot.
I forgot why.
Well, if you put the chopsticks upside down onto your like bowl of rice,
yeah.
That's for dead people. So you bring flowers to visit dead people in the cemetery. We bring food. I would actually bring
really?
like cooked. You did? I didn't tell you that.
No.
Yeah, we bring cooked food, like plates and bowls of cooked food.
Yeah. The more you know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So don't stick your stickies tall.
Yeah.
They don't like it.
I don't like it. It's
yeah,
not good.
it's for the dead.
Yeah.
I never realized China was so clean. It is so clean. Every city was just pristine. I didn't see like any trash on the ground. All the roads had no potholes. It was insane. And their public transportation is so much better. Like I definitely have a whole new level of respect.
It totally surprised me too.
Yeah, she hasn't been back in 3 years.
It's so green there.
Yeah, it's so green.
So many trees.
There's trees like they love like what do you call that? Like is it gardening, but like for on a bigger scale. Landscaping. They have they love landscaping. So everyone lives in like these apartment complexes, but there are just so many green, pretty trees and little parks and stuff, and it was beautiful. It was amazing. I couldn't ask for a better trip, and I couldn't ask for a better country. It surprised me. It was amazing. Well, that about wraps it up. There's still a lot more things to talk about in China, obviously. If you guys have any questions, just comment below. We'll answer it because we love you.